Well, good morning, everyone. It's that time of month again. Time for another YouTube channel update. And this month is one I'm particularly excited about because it's coming up on a particular time of year that means a lot to me. As we near the end of February and March approaches, a lot of people are getting excited for springtime coming. And of course, I'm one of them because spring is my personal favorite time of year just because I'm an outdoors person. I like to get out, do more. Not that I haven't been outdoors all winter long. As a matter of fact, while I'm recording this, I've already gotten 120 miles biking in this year. I probably would have more in if I hadn't had a cycling accident last weekend where I fell on a trail that I wanted to ride and messed my bike up. That's why you don't see my bike behind me. My baby's in the shop getting repaired. But fortunately, when I fell, I was wearing this. I don't care how much you bike or how good you think you are, always wear a helmet. Always. They can be the difference between life and death. And where I live in Georgia, it's really required. I think it's if you're over 16 or 18, it's optional. But the studies prove that wearing a helmet protects your head. I wear one mainly because I'm missing this part of my skull. I don't know if I can turn, you can see there's a dent in the side of my head from where I was hit in a car accident. Which brings me to the subject of this month's topic. March, for those of you who don't know, is Brain Injury Awareness Month. This is when a lot of people like myself in the traumatic brain injury community really try to advocate brain injury awareness. Not just precautions, but facts about brain injuries. You know, you may not think you know a lot of people with brain injuries, but according to the CDC, about 1.5 million Americans sustain some form of a traumatic brain injury each year. Now this includes concussions, both mild and minor, because even a minor concussion damages your brain, the way your brain functions to some point. In fact, one of my writer friends who I've known for a few years has had multiple concussions in the last few months, and she's still battling concussion recovery symptoms. I mean, from what she's told me, she cannot sit and look at a computer screen for long periods of time because it hurts her eyes and gives her a headache. I mean, people just don't take brain injuries serious as they should. For me, because of my brain injury, my eyesight is, I guess I pull my glasses off. My eyesight is, if I get out the sun, is affected by the sun. My eyes don't adjust and focus to light like a normal person's eyes. That's why I have to wear eyeglasses with extra dark transition lenses. I think these are to help protect my eyes. Like everybody thinks they got sunglasses on all the time, but it's just transition lenses to help keep my eyes from getting hurt, because the bright light will give me a headache, like my friend with a concussion. Literally, if it's so bright, I cannot see anything. It's just like white. I can't see nothing. And at the same time, when I come back in or get out of that light, my eyes don't readjust to the darkness that quick. So there's kind of like an in-between phase. It's like I can't see with the light, then I can't see without the light. So it's just it plays mind games on me. And because of the brain injury, I have a depth perception deficit. So I can't, when I was biking last weekend, I couldn't see where there was a rut in the trail. And about the time I saw it hit my brake, it was just too late. My front wheel hit that rut and down I went, because I don't have depth perception like a normal person. I don't have peripheral vision like a normal person. Like, I've taken numerous field of vision tests for Social Security, and they've all concluded that I am statutorily or legally blind because my field of vision is so limited on the sides. Now, straight ahead, I have great eyesight when it comes to seeing my field of vision, but as for focusing, I mean, it can be my best friend or a family member who knows me, and me walking towards me and say, "Hi, Martin." I can turn and look, and my eyes don't adjust fast enough, so it takes me a few minutes before I realize who it is. And if you're driving in the car and you blow your horn at me, by the time I see you, when I first see you, I won't know who you are. By the time I do realize who you are, you're way gone, because my eyes haven't focused on who you are. And I've had people who know me say, "Yeah, you look right at me." I'm like, "Yeah, I might be looking right at you, dude, but I'm not seeing you like a blind person." That's why it's called being statutorily blind, even though I can see. All this comes from the brain injury that I sustained. And March is double special for me, because not only is it Brain Injury Awareness Month, it is also my disability month. March 31st, 1997 was when I was in my car accident. I sustained my TBI. So March has always been, ever since then, has been kind of special for me. Last month I talked about, habits. After March 31st, I had learned all new habits. New ways to eat, new ways to dress myself, new ways to tie my shoes, new ways to walk, everything. All my habits changed. I had to stop doing the destructive things I used to do. I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped partying. So, it's, because of the brain injury, it's a whole new lifestyle. I try to explain this to people whenever I talk to them about brain injury awareness. In fact, at the end of last year, another local cyclist where I live got hit by a car and sustained a brain injury. As I tried to explain to his wife and family, his life's never going, even once he gets out of the hospital, his life will never be the same again. He's going to have to learn to live. Things that used to come naturally to him won't come as naturally. His emotions will be in flux. He will be forever different. Fortunately for me, and I'm not putting myself up on a pedestal saying, "Hey, I'm lucky, I'm good or great because of this," but fortunately for me, I had my brain injury while I was still in my early 20s. And let me explain to you why that's fortunate. Because despite what a lot of people think, when you're 18, you're not full grown. The human brain does not finish growing. Now, when I say growing, I don't mean physically like growing, getting bigger or smaller from smallness. I mean your brain doesn't finish wiring itself and getting set up to operate your body until you're 25-ish. So when I had my brain injury at 22, and the brain damage on the right side of my head occurred, and then they cut the part of my brain out that they did, my brain had 3 more years to rewire itself around the damages areas. So I could, there goes my speech impediment. Another perk of having a brain injury. But back to the subject. My brain was able to rewire itself and heal for those 3 years, and then continued to heal and grow after that. In the meantime, allowing me to learn new habits, like new fitness routines, new nutrition, everything. I mean, I worked out a little bit in the gym with some of my friends from college before their accident. Yeah, the sunlight. But back then, it was just for it was just, in college, it was just the guy thing to do. Yeah, let's go to the gym, pump some iron, for those of you who are old enough to remember, on Saturday Night Live, there used to be this little parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger, we're going to pump you up, we don't want to be a girly man and all that stuff. So that's why I worked out in college. And so even then I wasn't, big and muscular and in that great of shape. I keep on rubbing my face because the beard is, as you can see, it's all that and thick. I had to thin it out last night because unfortunately we're getting early spring where I live, and it's been in the 80s and 90s, and I cannot have all the fluff. But after my accident, I had to learn to work out just to be able to function. I focused on my legs because for those months that I was in a wheelchair, I couldn't walk. So I spent lots of time and years working on building my legs up so I'd have strength to walk. And then the biking was part of the therapy to help me use the left side of my body, which I lost control of because of the brain injury. Because with biking, just the motion of the biking, I used my right side to pedal, it moved the left side, so that's how I got that back. So the brain injury was a lifestyle change. It forced me to create new habits. It forced my brain to literally rewire itself. That sun is just driving me crazy. If you think it looks bad on the video with the sun on my face, you just don't know how bad it's messing with my eyes. So, shame on the sun this morning. I say that, but at the same time, I'm glad to see the sun because there are a lot, out of that 1.5 million people who sustain a brain injury each year, only about 250,000 make it to the hospital and recover. The other 1.25 million people die or commit suicide. One of the studies I saw over this weekend while I was doing some research for an article I was writing stated that people with brain injuries were 5 times more likely to deal with depression. Which, there are times when for me the depression is bad, and then there are times when it's just like, just another day living a brain injury. During the winter months, I find that the depression gets worse, I guess because of the lack of sunlight. And right now, as spring's nearing, that time of year, I'm getting kind of spring feverish. That's why I was biking, where I was biking last weekend, because I had spring fever. I wanted to get out, see the water, and just be active where I hadn't been yet this year. Actually, I think that was my first time since last summer or spring that I've gone biking down there. But I cannot emphasize enough, for those of you who are watching, as spring comes around, if you get spring fever, wear a helmet. Always. If you have children, make sure they wear a helmet when they bike. Protect your head, because if you damage your brain, you damage your entire body. It was weird when I went down to visit, when the guy who got hit by a car from here went to the same rehabilitation hospital I went to. So I went down to visit for the first time in over a decade to that hospital, and just walking around the grounds brought back so many memories. Like when I used to have my friends and family push me in a wheelchair out of the hospital to a little outside area. It's not really a park, but it's more like a little sitting area where you can see part of the canal, and you can see downtown area, which is basically, a couple miles away from where I was going to college at the time. So it was overwhelming for me personally to be there. I had all those memories, and to see how much it had changed. I mean, the hospital now is owned by another company, so they had pretty much redesigned the building. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I couldn't go see the cyclists in person, and I couldn't explore the hospital more. But I did get to see the lobby, which was just drastically different. And I'm going to try, at the end of this video, put some pictures of my visit. It's only a few pictures I took. So you can see the hospital, and there's a nice little artistic statue there for persons with brain injuries. I'll put that at the end. I might even throw some pictures in from my bike ride that I had last weekend when I messed my bike up. So that's really what I want to talk about this month: brain injury awareness. And beginning March 1st through March 31st is Brain Injury Awareness Month. Protect your head. Protect your life. You don't want to go through, even if you recover from a brain injury, like minor brain injuries. I have, like, my rider friend who had the concussion. I gotta see if I can get this thing out. She is really struggling with her concussion symptoms. And all I can do is pray for the cyclist who got hit, because he's got a long road ahead of him. He was actually my age now when he had his accident. So there's no telling how his brain will heal or not heal. So that is this month's topic: brain injury awareness. So I don't know what y'all thought about this video, simply because I can only talk about brain injury from my perspective. So do me a favor, hit the like button under the video and leave comments. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know some of the things you'd like to hear me talk about in the future. I mean, as I've stated before, I have the brain injury, so I can only come up with so many ideas of my own. So comment in the video below with questions or discussion about what you want me to talk more about. And I cannot emphasize enough, hit the like button. Those help out a lot. And your comments do too, because right now it's been about a year since I've started updating this channel. So I've gone through roughly 14 ideas I had. And we've got, 10 more months to get through this year. So that's 10 more videos I gotta come up with ideas for. Help me, please.